that old saying, brains over brawn? Well, what happens when you pit brute force against a really brilliant strategy? Today, we're going to dive into the classic fable of the lion and the rabbit to pull apart this timeless lesson about what power really is. So here's the big question we're tackling today. Does wisdom always beat pure strength? I mean, it's a nice idea, right? We've heard it in stories forever, but is it always true? This fable is a pretty amazing case study for that. Let's see how it all plays out. All right, let's paint the picture. Our story kicks off in what seems like a perfect, peaceful world. But, you guessed it, something's about to show up and just wreck everything. So just picture this, a jungle where everything is in perfect harmony. I mean, every animal, from the biggest to the smallest, is just living together, totally free, respecting each other. It's this beautiful, balanced world. And then, bam, this peaceful scene is just shattered. A tyrant shows up. We're talking about a super powerful, arrogant lion who looks at this jungle and doesn't see a community. Nope, he sees his own personal buffet. And he's not hunting to survive, he's doing it for fun. As you can imagine, the whole jungle is suddenly living in constant fear. Okay, so their world is just turned upside down, right? It's total chaos. The animals know they can't keep living like this, just terrified all the time. They're so desperate that they're forced to think about making a deal. A really dangerous deal that's going to change everything. They are absolutely terrified, but they also want to get some kind of control back. So what do? They all band together. It's this brave move, but it's really born out of just complete desperation. They know they can't fight him physically, so they figure, okay, let's try to make a deal. And the deal they come up with? Wow, it's honestly chilling. To stop the lion from just randomly killing everyone, they promise him a scheduled sacrifice. One animal every single day will just walk up to him to be his meal. It's an unimaginable choice, but that's how desperate they are. Now for the lion, this is a pretty sweet deal, right? He doesn't even have to hunt anymore. His food just gets delivered. So of course he agrees. And just like that, this grim, dark routine takes over the jungle. Every single day, another family has to say goodbye to someone. So things are looking really bleak. But in the middle of all this darkness, a little spark of hope is about to appear. And it's coming from the last place you'd expect. A very unlikely hero is about to enter the scene. So one day, the unlucky lot falls to a rabbit. A small rabbit. I mean, this guy is one of the smallest, weakest animals out there. But what he doesn't have in muscle, he's got in brains. And let me tell you, he has absolutely no plans to be the lion's next meal. The rabbit's plan is just brilliant. It has nothing to do with fighting. It's all about psychology. He comes up with this simple 3-step plan that uses the lion's own weaknesses against him. You know, his hunger, his massive ego, his arrogance. It's basically a masterclass in how to use your brain to beat someone way more powerful. Okay, so it's game time. The rabbit puts his plan into motion. And this is it, the big showdown where cleverness goes head-to-head with the lion's biggest weakness, his pride. And step 1? He shows up late, on purpose. The lion is already furious. You know, he's hungry, he's impatient, and the rabbit, instead of cowering and apologizing, just masterfully uses that anger. He drops a bombshell, the one thing a guy like this can't stand to hear, that there's a challenger. Oh, and the lion totally falls for it. Hook, line, and sinker. The rabbit played him perfectly, targeting his ego. The idea that there's another powerful lion out there, his pride just can't handle it. Suddenly, he's not even hungry anymore. All he can think about is proving he's the one and only king of the jungle. So the rabbit, pretending to be all scared and respectful, is like, oh, yes, of course, I'll show you this other lion. And he leads this fuming, arrogant lion through the jungle, not to another lion, but to an old, deep well. The rabbit points down and says, he lives down there. The lion stomps right up to the edge and peers in. And what does he see staring back at him from the water? The face of a lion. Now this lion is so arrogant, he's not even thinking straight. He doesn't stop for a second, doesn't question it. All he sees is what his ego wants him to see. An enemy, a rival. His rage completely blinds him and, snap, the rabbit's trap works perfectly. And right there, that one single moment of being blinded by his own pride, well, that leads directly to the tyrant's downfall. It's the perfect dramatic ending that proves the whole point of our story. I mean, he doesn't even hesitate. The lion lets out this huge roar and just leaps into the well, ready to fight his own reflection. Of course, the deep water takes care of the rest. And just like that, the tyrant is gone. Not defeated by some powerful army, but by a clever little trick and his own out-of-control ego. So the little rabbit heads back to the other animals, not as the day's sacrifice, but as a total hero. He did it. He freed the entire jungle, all by himself. Peace is back, freedom is back, and it's all thanks to his smarts. You know, this story really gives us a great definition of what cunning is. In the original source, they call it chaturé. And it's not just about being tricky or deceitful, it's about strategically using your intelligence to solve problems that pure strength can't touch. In fact, in this case, strength was actually the problem. And that really brings us to the final takeaway here. This story, it's not really just about animals, right? It's a huge metaphor for the kinds of challenges we all run into. So I'm going to leave you with this to think about. Where in your own life could using a little more of that clever rabbit's thinking and a little less of the lion's brute force make all the difference?